it's Buttercup here, and today we're going to do some math. So all of our activities this week is all going to be revolving around math. So for my activity, I decided to do something with graphing and something with art. So if you're interested, stick around. So for this activity, you might need a little bit of knowledge on graphing and coordinated pairs. If not, it's okay. I will do a quick rundown before the activity. As you guys can see here, we have our 4-quadrant graph. We got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. If you already have the knowledge and you feel comfortable using this graph, go ahead and do that. If not, if you're just starting out, you're more welcome than just to start with the first quadrant. But back to our regular 4-quadrant, you guys can get this off the internet. They're free for you to use. So just like every graph, we have our x-axis and then we have our y-axis. And then on the right side of our x-axis, we have all our positive numbers. And then on the left side, we have all of our negative numbers. Same with the y. When you're going up, it's all positive. Going down is all negative. And now here's where the fun starts. You're going to go ahead and plot your little points on your graph and create something easy if you're just getting into it. I'm just going to create a heart and I'll show you what I mean. Once you have your shape drawn out the way that you want, make sure that every line is crossing at some point, just like here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my pen and I'm going to start making dots in those little spots where my dots need to be. Now I have all my little dots in the graph, and now I'm going to go ahead and write my pairs. So remember, when you're doing your pairs, you always start with your x-axis and then your y-axis. So my first number is going to come down, and it just depends on where I want my drawing to start. So if I want to start at this point, I need to plot this point first, which will be 10, 28. So you'll write it down like, remember, in between parentheses, 10, now that we're done with our drawing, we plotted every single point on our graph, and it should look something like this. I have every single point on this graph. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it to my friends and family and see if they can guess what I drew. So this is a very fun activity to have everyone involved. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi, welcome back. It's Rubix. Today we're going to talk about math, and I'm going to be using M&Ms. I have 2 bags of M&Ms here. We're going to talk about statistics, and that really is just a branch of math, really just the collection of the analysis and then organizational data, because that's based on facts. And so what I went ahead and did is I asked our Starbase staff, and I asked, which color do you think has the most in these bags, and which one has the least? And so I went ahead and gathered their guesses, and I compared them to each bag, and I asked if they thought the second bag would have the same or different amounts. And I think you'll be surprised with the guesses that we had. You can get your friends and family in on this. You can use different types of candy, and I went ahead and counted out each one, compared it to our results, and then here are the answers. So it's interesting to note in the M&M Statistics Challenge, in each bag, blue was the most common type of M&M in each bag. Brown and yellow were the least common type in each bag, both A and B. And in bag A, there were 57 total, and in bag B, there were 58 total. So this, when it comes to statistics, is when we collect all the information and we gather it and we analyze it and collect all the data. This is when we come to the results. Now remember, everyone might have different results. They might be the same. Half of us guessed each bag would be about the same, and the others guessed that they would be different. So again, this is fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, I'll see you next time.
Hi, Plume here. Today we're going to be going over math and how we could use math in different areas of our life. What I'm going to go over with you guys today is mathematics used in cooking. So you get a recipe and the recipe is just too big and you want to cut it in half. Maybe you just want to make something just for yourself. What you'll want to do is go through your recipe and divide everything by 2. So here we have our original recipe. We have 4 cups milk, 6 tablespoons cornstarch, a quarter teaspoon salt, 1 cup sugar, a quarter teaspoon vanilla, and 2 eggs. Again, that's the original recipe, and you might think that's too much. So what you're going to do is take all those measurements and divide them by 2. So 4 cups of milk divided by 2 is going to be 2 cups milk. 6 tablespoons cornstarch divided by 2 is going to be 3 tablespoons. A quarter teaspoon salt divided by 2 is going to be 1/8 teaspoon of salt. 1 cup sugar divided by 2 is going to be a half a cup of sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla divided by 2 is going to be 1/8 of a teaspoon. And 2 eggs divided by 2 is going to be 1 egg. That's how you would reduce a recipe, by dividing it in half. Next, I'm going to put everything together and we'll see our end result. After you put all those ingredients into a pan, you want to turn your stove on medium-high. You want to put all those ingredients together and stir constantly until it boils or bubbles. Once it bubbles, you can take it off the heat and continue to stir it until the bubbles stop. And guess what you just made? Homemade vanilla pudding. Yum.
Hi everyone, this is Bump, and here we are again at Bump's place, except today we're outside. We're going to do a little bit of math problem, and we're going to see if Bump can maintain a 6-mile-an-hour pace on a 3-mile run. So, let's go ahead, we'll get started here. I'm going to go ahead and set my watch, we'll collect the data, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hi everyone, it's Bump, I'm back from my run. So we're going to go ahead, we'll take the data I collected and see if I made the speed that I was shooting for today on my run. So let me get my indoor glasses on. All right, and how do we do that? First, we can use this chart, or this formula, where I have a triangle with D on the top. There's an S and T. Now, the D on top stands for distance, the S stands for speed, and the T stands for time. And all I have to do is actually just plug my numbers in to their appropriate variables, and do the math, and we can find out how many miles per hour did I run today. Okay, so go ahead, put that off to the side. I already have my paper, my pencil, my paper, and I also have my calculator. All right. I did put my triangle up there, the D on the top, the S on the bottom, and the T. Okay, and then I wrote in my time and my distance. And for my time, I ran at 29 minutes and 46 seconds. And the distance was at 2.98 miles. But what was the speed? Okay, I also wrote in here that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. The reason why is because I could take that time of 29 minutes and 46 seconds, and I can actually turn that 46 seconds into a decimal by dividing the 46 by the 60, which gives me a 29.77. Okay, so go ahead, I take my numbers and I plug it into my triangle there. The 2.98 for the distance, or miles, is on the top, and the time of 29.77 I put on the bottom. Being that the D is on the top and the T is at the bottom, this line right here means to divide. So I take the distance, divide it by the time, and that'll give me my answer. And I already did the math, and it comes out that I did 6 miles per hour. Let me just go ahead through that just to show you. I take my calculator, And I set it up at 2.98. Okay, at 2.98. I divide that by my time of 29.77. And I hit equal. Comes up with this decimal. Okay, now I take that 60 minutes because I'm trying to figure out miles per hour. All I have to do is multiply that decimal by 60 times 60 equals, I get my 6.00. Okay, that shows me that I did run and made my goal of 6 miles per hour on today's training run. Now, we can use this triangle for any time to figure out distance, speed, or time. What we have to do is plug the numbers into the appropriate letter and then do the math. So until next time, stay safe and we'll see you.